In this video, I am going to go over the level 3 diaphragmatic breathing series. So if you haven't watched level 2 or level 1 yet, be sure to check those series out first, as I get a lot more, I teach the patterns you want to hit, and those positions are foundational in getting you stronger so that you could do these positions. The positions here are more like traditional core exercises. So in this video, we cover a plank, we cover side plank, we cover single leg stability and lunge, and then a squat variation, all of which are movements that require full integration of your deep core and your outer core. But in this series, we are exclusively focusing on the diaphragm. With diaphragmatic breathing, you want to make sure that your belly and your chest and your ribs all expand together, and ideally equally. Over time, your body will adapt if you keep up with the program, but it does take time. So the expectation is not to be perfect in every position immediately, or maybe even ever. Two things to look out for. You want to make sure that when you breathe, this doesn't happen and your shoulders don't hike up towards your ears and your belly goes in, and you want to make sure that you don't get out of a neutral position. All these positions in this series, as well as the previous series, are in a neutral spine position regardless of the position that you're in. So let's get to it. The first position will be single leg balance. You don't have to move the other leg just as I am. I find that this takes time to get to, so if you're just holding your leg up like this or behind you, that's fine. The main thing is that your spine's in neutral. Your shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, ears, all of that is in line. And then whatever position that you choose, so let me demo on my right, and I'm going to flex my left. I don't want to lean back as I lift my opposite leg. I don't want to get out of this position. I don't want my knee to bend, so knee stays straight. Keep your toes pressing into the ground, squeeze your quads, squeeze your glutes, and then from here, you're gonna breathe deeply in through your nose and then exhale through your mouth. You can choose a regular breathing pattern, say 3 to 5 seconds in, 3 to 5 seconds out, or maybe a little bit longer, or you can do box breath where you are breathing in, you're holding, then you're breathing out, and then you're not breathing for about the same counts. You'll do 10 to 20 breaths or 1 to 2 minutes on one side, then you'll switch to the other side. Second position is the wall squat. In the wall squat, you want to make sure that you have a surface where you're not going to slide. So I moved my yoga mat out of the way. I'll show you two different views. My feet are outside of my hips here, and my chest is, my back is not flat against the wall. I want my spine in neutral, so my sit bones are putting pressure into the wall, and then my chest is off. My whole back is off the wall in neutral position. From here, this is where we're breathing. So from the side view, again, feet are wider than hips. My chest is off the wall. This, I want to get as close as I can. I mean, you're not going this deep, but you can, as long as you can maintain neutral position. But I want this to look as much like a regular squat as I can. Whew. So I recommend starting in a realistic position that you can hold for 10 to 20 breaths. So from here, I'm breathing in, I'm exhaling, and then I repeat that for 10 to 20 repetitions or 1 to 2 minutes. If you find that your legs are burning and you need to take a break between reps, that's completely fine. Next position is the lunge position. So with a lunge, there's a lot of different terminology used, a lot of different styles. So this is just going to be a regular split stance. This is called basically a split squat as well, or a static lunge. So your feet are going to be hip width apart, and then you're going to drop into a lunge. So you can see from the front, my legs are hip width apart. So I'm going to show you from the side now. So I drop into a lunge in this position. My knee is hovering over the ground. My front thigh, I make sure the knee is in line with the middle of my foot, and my toes are engaged into the floor. Front shin is nearly vertical, and my shoulders, I'm not arched here, I'm not here. I am tucking my tailbone under a little bit so I'm in neutral pelvis position, and my shoulders can be directly over my hips. So from here, I take a deep breath in, just as I did in every other position. I'll do this 10 to 20 breaths, 1 to 2 minutes on each leg. Couple tips for this. Your legs are going to get tired. Holding positions and working on breath is a great opportunity to figure out different ways to settle into a position. So really use your legs here. Try to split the floor. Try to really get strength through your toes. Press the ground away. Try different things to take some pressure off your muscles as you're holding. Next, and of course you could hold on to stuff until you're ready. Next position is the plank position. Level 1 is an elevated plank. Elevated plank, your forearms are on a surface. Your feet are hip width apart, maybe a little bit wider to make it easier, maybe together. Biggest thing is you're pressing away through the balls of your feet and your calves. Your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders, and your eyes are between your fists. In this position, you repeat the process. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, 10 to 20 times, or for 1 to 2 minutes. If you get tired, you can get out of the position and then get back in when you're ready. Second level, so level 2 would be on the ground. Now it's in this position, same thing with the calves, you're pressing away, same thing with the elbows. Now make sure that your hips and your shoulders are level. You're not up here, you're not down here. This gives a balanced plank. If you want to bias your back muscles, your hips would be lower. If you want to bias something else, you would do it differently. But the focus of this is training your diaphragm. And in order to optimize training the full diaphragm, we want the ribs stacked over your pelvis. Again, in that position, same sequence, 10 to 20 breaths, 1 to 2 minutes, your choice. Last position is the side plank. In this position, you come onto the ground, propped up on your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. Hips are stacked on one another. You're gonna lift up your pelvis. You're gonna lift, which is also what people might think is their hips. You're pressing away from the floor with your shoulder and making sure that you're forward so that your spine is in neutral. And then we do the same thing here. Breathe in, exhale, 10 to 20 reps, or 1 to 2 minutes. Both sides, this side and then the other side. Feeling this not only with the breath, but you're feeling this on the side part of your body, not so much your hip. You might feel it in your hip, but if you're really just using your hip muscles versus your abs, you're gonna feel it there. Then you would do the other side. You can do this elevated. You just would be in this position. So feet are in front, one foot is in front of the other. I would definitely need something to pad my elbow on that one. So in this video, we covered single leg balance, we covered lunge, wall squat, a plank, and then a side plank for level 3 diaphragmatic breathing series. Some of these you may not be ready for, that's okay, work towards it. Or you may not be ready for the unsupported version. In that case, you can decrease the range of motion, you can hold on to something for balance, you could do less reps. The main goal and the main objective is to be able to maintain good expansion throughout your chest, your belly, and your ribs so that you're using the full diaphragm. If you could do that and maintain a steady, controlled breathing pattern, then modify to the point where you can't. So that point where you lose it, that's when you know you've overdone it. If you have any questions, post them below in the comments. Please press the like button if you liked it. If you have any questions specifically for me as well, you also can talk to me in the clinic or whatever method we agreed upon with communication. And then where we go from here is either other parts of the deep core training series, including the pelvic floor, the TA, or the next step in the reconnect system. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video.